Mario Formisano, Director of Dorchester County Emergency Management. Evacuation zones were developed based on storm surge models that we obtained from the Army Corps of Engineers. So those models reveal that Dorchester County has storm surge risk all the way up to, and in some cases beyond, Highway 17A. There used to be a voluntary evacuation that preceded a mandatory evacuation. We don't use the term mandatory or voluntary. If the governor orders your zone to evacuate, it's mandatory. Our zones are risk-based. So Zone D essentially has the greatest risk for any category of a storm, and that's largely in part to the Ashley River and its tidal creeks, like the Sawmill Branch and Eagle Creek, and then also Rantol's Creek all the way to the east that runs up the far eastern end of the county in the area that we refer to as the Southern Swamp. And based on the forecast and intensity of the storm, it may necessitate making a recommendation to have Zone E or F ordered to evacuate as well. In a Cat 1, Cat 2 scenario, those areas within Zone D are at the greatest risk. If you get into a Cat 3 or greater storm, now you're talking about a lot of those areas that are within Zone E and F. The most risk resides in Zone D for any storm category. The evacuation zones are only based on storm surge, so it's not taking into account inland freshwater flooding. So there are low-lying areas all throughout the county, and if we have a slow-moving Category 1 storm, Zone D might be ordered to evacuate, but plenty of other parts of the county are at risk to flooding that aren't going to be ordered to evacuate. So it's really important that in any storm scenario, residents are monitoring the forecast, monitoring their local conditions, and they're ready to take action. The same holds true all over the county and all over the coast with mobile or manufactured homes. When zones are ordered to evacuate, you're often going to hear the governor say, and any and all mobile and manufactured homes.
We're hoping this storm will not hit us.
So the evacuation management plan that was developed looks at all of the different evacuation areas along the coast, and based on your geographical area, you will be assigned a route. If you wait until the governor orders an evacuation, you'll be bound by that evacuation route to head west. If you leave early, you can go anywhere you choose. If you wait for the governor's order, then you're really not going to have a choice at your destination. You know, depending on where you live, your closest evacuation route might take you to Columbia. It might take you to Charlotte. It might take you to the Aiken-Augusta area. If you know where you want to go, and you know that your route is not going to take you to that location, then you need to leave before the order is made. There's an interactive map tool on the Dorchester County website. If you visit the emergency management page, it's as simple as plug your address in and it will tell you what evacuation zone you live in. The evacuation routes are part of that map. Undoubtedly, you're going to evacuate and you're going to go beyond Dorchester County. So you need to be familiar with where those routes are going to take you. Like, for example, if you live in the Dorchester Road corridor and you wait for the evacuation order to be given, your route is going to be Dorchester Road to Orangeburg Road, Orangeburg Road to Highway 78, Highway 78 to 178, and on up to Orangeburg. If you live west of the Ashley, you're going to take 61 to where 60 runs into 78 just east of Bamberg, and then once you're on 78 in Bamberg, it's going to take you to the Aiken-Augusta area. If you live in a hurricane evacuation zone, it's imperative that you know your zone, number one, and know your evacuation route and have a plan for where you're going to go.